Hello and welcome to the Blindseyepodcast, the podcast discussing everything you did and didn't want to know about being blind. My name is Connor, and today I've got something a little bit different. Not sure how it's going to go, but I'm going to actually try and show you or let any of you listen to how I actually record a podcast. So I'm going to try and record myself recording a podcast. So this may be interesting, but if you listen on, hopefully it's gone well. So as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing, following, liking. Please tell people if you like what I do, and any little bit helps. So let's get going. Okay, so let's attempt to show you how I record this podcast. I'm doing this with Zoom and Audacity, so we shall see. So I'm going to switch over to Audacity now.
Leaving menus, track panel, Audacity, track view table.
Okay, so I'm in Audacity, and what I do is once I get my interface set up and the microphones and headphones and all that sorted out in the preferences, I basically just hit the letter R for record. So let's hope this works. So I'm pressing it now.
R. Table track 1 row.
Testing 1, 2, mic check. Hello, this is Connor. Welcome to the Blindseyepodcast.
Space.
Okay, now let's see if that worked. I'm going to hit space again to play it back.
Space.
Testing 1, 2, mic check. Hello, this is Connor. Welcome to the Blindseyepodcast. All right, so that worked. And you can hear it even picked up the little click at the end for me hitting the spacebar. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I do some editing. So first thing I do is I hit Control A to select the entire track. And then I hit the Alt button, which brings up the list menus.
Menu bar, file to navigate, press left or right arrow F.
So that's File,
Edit E.
Edit,
Select S.
Select,
View E.
View,
Transport N.
Transport,
Tracks E.
Tracks,
Generate G.
Generate,
Effect C.
and Effect. So if I want to clean
Context
up
menu,
the
effect menu,
background
move
noise,
actions, to move from items, press up or down arrow A. Repeat last effect, Control plus R unavailable R.
if I want to clean up the background noise, I go to the noise gate. So I'm going to hit N.
N. Noise reduction, N.
That's noise reduction.
N. Normalize, N.
Normalize.
N. Noise gate, N.
Noise gate.
Enter, leaving menus. Table track 1 selected row, noise gate dialog, select function colon combo box, gate 1 of 2. To change the selection, use the arrow keys.
So this is the noise gate where I get to choose basically how much noise I want to let through. So it's kind of like, it functions like a virtual gate. So the bigger the gate is, the more noise it gets through. If the smaller the gate is, the less noise it gets through. So it's really helpful to take out background noise and stuff. And I have this set to a preset configuration. So if I just hit enter now.
Enter, table track 1 selected row, track panel, table track 1 selected row.
All right, so that has applied the noise gate. So if I go back, Control A to select the entire track again, and now press space to play it, we'll see what happens.
Space.
Testing 1, 2, mic check. Hello, this is Connor. Welcome to the Blindseyepodcast. Okay, so you've heard that. It's probably not a very apparent change because I try to soundproof my room as best as I can and have a quiet setup. But I can hear that some of the echoiness of the room has kind of been diminished. And you might have even heard the click there at the end that has also been brought down in volume by a little bit. So the next bit I'm going to do is show you how to get rid of, or how I get rid of, that little click at the end. So what I'm going to do is select it all again, and I'm going to press the space bar to play it.
Space.
Testing 1, 2, mic check. Hello, this is Connor. Welcome to the Blindseyepodcast.
Left bracket.
Now, you will have heard me just press the left bracket button, and that basically allows me to select each selection I want to walk through. So if there's a particular part of the audio that I want to select, then I can use the left bracket and the right bracket buttons on the keyboard to define the region, for lack of a better word. So if I press spacebar now, it should just let me hear the clip.
Space.
You see that? So instead of me having to listen to the whole thing, I can do that. So if I let this play again and then hit the right bracket, then I will have selected each side of the area I want to work on.
Space. Right bracket. Set right selection boundary dialog. Position 00H00M08.70S. Enter. Table track 1 selected row.
All right, so that was allowing me to set the right-hand side of the boundary, and I can do it to the millisecond, to the second, to the minute, whatever it might be. So that's pretty handy if I want to do anything. So if I press space again,
Space.
you'll hear that there's just that little bit of a noise. So if I want to get rid of that noise altogether, what I can do is open up my menus again.
Menu bar. File to navigate. Press left or right arrow F. Edit E. Select S. View V. Transport N. Tracks T. Generate T.
I go to generate, and I'm going to generate silence.
Menu. Generate menu. Add slash remove plug actions dot dot dot. To move from items, press up or down arrow A. Chirp dot 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 C. DTMF tones dot 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 D. Noise dot 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 N. Silence dot 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 S.
So now I'm going to select generate silence.
Enter. Leaving menus. Table track 1 selected row. Silence dialog. Duration colon duration 00H00M01S plus 1283 samples. Duration 00H00M01S plus 1283 samples.
And that's already kind of automated how much silence I might want to put in based on how wide that little region I selected is. So if I hit enter now.
Enter. Table track 1 selected row.
Okay, so that's generated the silence. And if I hit space to play that area again.
Space.
All of a sudden that little click of me hitting the space bar in the original recording is gone. So now if I go Control A for the entire track and play it all, you'll hear that it's completely gone.
Space.
Testing 1 2 mic check. Hello, this is Connor. Welcome to the Blindseyepodcast. All right, so you can hear that that little click is completely gone. So if I wanted to do other things, like maybe my voice hasn't come through as loudly as I want, which isn't really the case in this particular example, but if I wanted to raise the voice, what I'll do again is Control A. That's been selected the entire track. I'm going to go back over to
Menu bar. File to navigate. Press left or right arrow F.
Effects.
Edit E. Select S. View V. Transport. Tracks. Generate. Effect C. Context menu. Effect menu. To navigate. Press up or down arrow A. Repeat noise gate control plus RR.
That tells me if I want to repeat the noise gate, because that's what I did last in this menu. And I'm looking for amplify.
Amplify dot 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 A.
There we go. There's amplify.
Enter. Menu bar. To navigate. Press left or right arrow. Leaving menu bar. Table track 1 selected row. Amplify dialog. Amplification left parent dB right parent colon edit 15.99. Type in text. Alt plus A.
Now that's just kind of automatically come up with, do I want to amplify it by 15 decibels? So for the sake of argument, let's just hit that.
Enter. Table track 1 selected row.
Okay, so that's now amplified it by 15 decibels. Now let's go back to see what this sounds like.
Space.
Testing 1 2 mic check. Hello, this is Connor. Welcome to the Blindseyepodcast. So as you can tell, that made it much louder. You can even hear a little breath for the very beginning of that, which I didn't notice before because it was at a lower volume. So as a last little thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to actually try and get rid of that breath, just again for the sake of an example. So let's go back to the beginning, select all. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the left bracket to select the very start of the track, because that's where the breath is.
Left bracket. Set left selection boundary dialog. Position 00H00M00.00S.
So that tells me it's at the very start.
Enter. Table track 1 selected row.
Now I'm going to press space bar, and once I hear that breath finish, I'm going to hit the right bracket, and that will basically coordinate off into its own little section.
Space. Right bracket.
Testing 1 2 mic check. Hello, this is
Space.
Okay, so let's see if that's actually worked.
Space.
Yeah, so you can see there, it's just playing me the breath. So now if I wanted to get rid of that breath, there's a few different things I can use. I can use a debreather, but let's just say I want to use the generate silence again. So I will go back to the generate menu.
Menu bar. File to navigate. Edit E. Select. View V. Transport N. Tracks T. Generate T.
I'll press S.
Context menu. Generate menu. Add slash S. Leaving menus. Table track 1 selected row. Silence dialog. Duration colon duration 00H00M01S plus 2310 samples. Duration 00H00M01S plus 2310 samples.
All right, now let's see.
Enter. Table track 1 selected row.
Now if I press play again with the space bar, let's see if that breath has gone.
Space.
Yep, completely gone. So let's play the entire track and see how that all sounds now. So let's go.
Space.
Testing 1 2 mic check. Hello, this is Connor. Welcome to the Blindseyepodcast. All right, so now you see the breath is gone, the little click at the end is gone, the amplification has turned up. So that's basically what I mostly do. I don't really do anything too funky, really, to sort of set this all up. I try and get it all as prepared as I can in the beginning, because then there's less things to mess around. So I have a little pop filter on my microphone that takes away a lot of the lip and breathy noises. Doesn't take them all away, but it does a pretty good job for a home job, a DIY job. I also have a little bit of soundproofing in my wardrobe, which is where I put my microphone. And I just make sure the house is as quiet as possible. So, yeah, basically, that is how I record a podcast. There's a few other things I can do, but I think that's going to be beyond my ability to do and record it while I'm trying to record it, if that makes sense. So, I hope that was somewhat interesting. So, yeah, that was how I record a podcast, how I edit it. I hope that was kind of insightful. It was a little bit tricky to try and work it out, but I'm hoping it was of some interest to a couple of people who have asked me. As always, if you want to get in touch, please email blindseyepodcast@gmail.com. That's BLINDSEYE podcast@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook and Instagram if you search for Blindseye Podcast. I'm on Twitter @BlindseyePod. And if you want one place for it all, just go to blindseyepodcast.com and I'll be back to speak to you in a fortnight. Cheers.